Harvey Elliot marks big Aston Villa milestone as Liverpool players show support. Aston Villa signed Harvey Elliot on loan from Liverpool during transfer deadline day as part of a deal that includes an obligation to buy for £35 million next summer. Harvey Elliot took just 2 matches to score his first goal since leaving Liverpool. The midfielder made a transfer deadline day loan move to Aston Villa, who are obligated to sign the player permanently for £35 million in the next summer transfer window. Elliot returned from the international break to debut for the Premier League club when they played Everton last weekend. A second appearance swiftly followed Tuesday evening as Villa took on Brentford in the third round of the Carabao Cup. The 22-year-old talent got on the scoresheet with a smartly taken strike just before halftime. John McGinn dispossessed an opposition defender, enabling his new colleague to latch onto the loose ball and slot a finish beneath Brentford goalkeeper Hakan Valdemarson. Unfortunately for Elliot, his new side could not maintain their advantage and eventually lost a penalty shootout after Aaron Hickey equalized during the 90 minutes. Matty Cash and McGinn missed for Villa, with Elliot not one of their 5 takers. To mark his individual milestone, he posted on Instagram, "Glad to get off the mark last night, but unfortunate to go out. Go again Sunday, prayer emoji." Among his former Reds teammates, Tyler Morton offered the most encouragement. The midfielder, who also departed Anfield this summer for Lyon, responded, "What a guy." Among those who liked the social media post were current Liverpool players Cody Gakpo, Curtis Jones, Hugo Ekitike, Jeremy Frimpong, Kyle Gordon, Rio Ngamaha, Ryan Gravenberch, Trey Nyoni, Virgil van Dijk, Vyacheslav Jaros, and Wataru Endo. Several former Reds who have moved on in recent years also liked the post, including Kevin Kelleher, Luis Diaz, Naby Keita, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. For Villa, Elliot's arrival seems to be perfectly timed. Despite their cup exit, it marked their first goal in competitive action for the 2025-26 season. Liverpool will continue to keep a close eye on the Englishman's progress in the coming seasons, as there remains the potential for the club to benefit even more from his career trajectory. As part of the deal struck on deadline day, the Reds were careful to negotiate both a sell-on clause and a buyback clause, safeguarding their long-term interests. This means that Liverpool are well-positioned regardless of how the player's future unfolds. Should he continue to develop and eventually attract interest from other clubs, Liverpool would stand to gain financially from any future transfer fee through the sell-on clause. On the other hand, if his growth and performances reach the level that convinces the Reds' hierarchy, he could play a role in their own squad again. They have the option of triggering the buyback clause to bring him back to Anfield. In either scenario, the agreement reflects Liverpool's belief in the player's potential and ensures that they remain connected to his career path. It also demonstrates the club's long-term planning strategy, as they balance the immediate benefits of moving him on with the possibility of reaping future rewards, both on the pitch and financially. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Liverpool eye Barcelona defender as Konate replacement. Liverpool eye Barcelona defender as Konate replacement. Liverpool's summer plans are already in motion, and the focus appears to be firmly on Barcelona's Ronald Araujo. According to Fishages, the Uruguayan defender has emerged as a top candidate to replace Ibrahima Konate, who is expected to leave Anfield at the end of the season for a move to Real Madrid. This could set up one of the most intriguing transfer sagas of next summer. Liverpool's step-up defensive search. With Ronald Araujo's departure looking increasingly likely, Liverpool must identify a center-back capable of stepping straight into the first team. Araujo's situation at Barcelona has created a potential opportunity. Once a cornerstone of Barca's backline, he has struggled to cement a regular place this season. The emergence of Pau Cubarsí and the resurgence of Eric Garcia have left Araujo on the fringes, a reality reflected in his declining market value. Yet, as Fishages notes, he remains highly rated across Europe, and Barcelona are not prepared to let him go cheaply. Any club interested will need to pay at least €50 million, their report states. Barcelona's calculated stance. Barcelona face their own dilemma. They need to raise funds to balance their books, and Araujo's sale could provide a significant injection of cash. The Catalan club know there is Premier League interest, and Liverpool are reportedly the side furthest along in their assessment of his contract situation and market valuation. Barcelona are said to be open to negotiations if the right bid arrives. The club could accept his departure if an adequate offer strengthens their finances, writes Fischages. That admission is key for Liverpool, who are known to plan their recruitment carefully and prefer to move early for top targets. Perfect fit for Slot's system. From Liverpool's perspective, Araujo ticks plenty of boxes. His physicality, recovery pace, and ability to handle high-pressure situations make him a natural fit for the Premier League. As Fischages points out, his international experience and competitive character are highly valued. With the Reds set to usher in a new era next season, the need for defensive stability is paramount, and this pursuit signals Liverpool's intent to maintain their competitive edge. Transfer battle could heat up. Liverpool are unlikely to be alone in their pursuit. Other Premier League clubs have shown interest, though Liverpool's proactive analysis of Araujo's situation gives them a head start. Barcelona will wait for the market to develop, knowing they hold a valuable asset. For now, this story is set to run and run. If Liverpool table a formal bid, it could trigger one of the most expensive defensive moves of the summer and reshape both clubs' plans for the future. Vinicius Jr. warned to get used to bench role, as Xabi Alonso says Brazilian can't feel offended by Rodrigo starting in Champions League win against Marseille. Vinicius Jr. was named on the bench for Real Madrid's Champions League opener against Marseille on Tuesday, with Rodrigo starting in his place on the left wing. After the game, head coach Xabi Alonso made it clear that the squad must get used to his rotational policy and sit out a game every now and then, but reassured that Vinicius remains just as important to the cause. Alonso surprises with his starting lineup. Real Madrid began their continental campaign off to a winning start on Tuesday, as the hosts won the game 2-1 against Marseille, thanks to a Kylian Mbappé penalty brace. While winning their first Champions League game of the season was not much of a surprise, it was Alonso's starting 11 that raised eyebrows. Rodrigo, who was heavily linked with an exit all summer, started in place of his Brazilian co-star in a three-man attack, with the latter coming off as a second-half substitute. Vini Jr. receives clear warning from the boss. Vinicius has been one of the best, if not the best, players in the Champions League in the last 4 seasons. Last season, he finished as Madrid's top scorer in the tournament as they lost to Arsenal in the quarterfinals. However, when asked how Vini reacted to being named on the bench, Alonso fired a clear warning, meant not just for the Brazilian, but the entire squad. We're in a demanding stretch. We need everyone. There will be moments for everyone. The important thing is that everyone feels prepared and feels important, because they are and will be throughout the season, said Alonso. If there are private conversations with Vini, they stay at Valdebebas. No one is going to play every game. No one can feel offended for not playing a game. Vini has come on well. The substitutions had a good impact on the game. Rotation is the name of the game. It's not the first time Vinicius has been left out of the starting 11 this season. He was a surprise exclusion for the game against newly promoted Real Oviedo last month, with Alonso asserting that the 25-year-old can have a big impact off the bench. Madrid have played 5 games, and Vini has appeared in each of those 5 fixtures, but has not managed to play the full 90 minutes even once. He has, however, scored 2 goals in the league and averages a direct goal contribution every 82 minutes. Can Madrid make it 6 wins out of 6 this weekend? Having maintained a perfect record so far, Alonso's troops face La Liga's surprise package Espanyol, who sit third after 3 wins and a draw. Alonso must navigate a defensive crisis, with Trent Alexander-Arnold sidelined by a hamstring injury and Dean Huijsen suspended following a red card against Real Sociedad. Thanks for watching. Stay for the next. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca explains Nicholas Jackson exit and opens up on text exchange ahead of swift Champions League reunion with Bayern Munich loanee. Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca has explained the club's decision to let Nicholas Jackson join Bayern Munich on a season-long loan. The striker secured a deadline day move to the German Giants, just when it looked like a switch to the Bundesliga might not happen. Now, the Senegal international's current team are set to face his old employers in the Champions League. Jackson set for swift Chelsea reunion. The 24-year-old swapped Chelsea for Bayern on loan earlier this month, with the move only being made possible by the Blues cancelling Mark Guéh's own loan to Sunderland in light of Liam Delap's injury. Ahead of the forward potentially facing the West London team in the Champions League on Wednesday, Maresca has lifted the lid on Jackson's departure and more. What Maresca said on Jackson. The Italian told reporters, "I am thankful to Nico because if we achieved what we achieved last year, it is because of all of the players including Nicholas who was with us. I texted him after he left the club to thank him for last season and wished him all the best. He is a good guy. With us he was good and working well." Chelsea bought 2 strikers, Liam Delap and João Pedro, and 2 strikers is a good number. That is enough. Maresca wary of Bayern's threat. The Italian is expecting a stern examination of his Chelsea players when they travel to Bayern for their Champions League opener. They will hope Jackson, who has scored 30 goals in 81 games for the Blues and helped them win the Conference League and Club World Cup, does not come back to haunt them in this upcoming encounter. He added, "At this moment they are one of the favorites to win the competition, but we will try to do our best. They showed last year that they can compete in this competition and win it." What next for Jackson and Chelsea? Jackson joined Bayern for a loan fee of £14 million, $19 million. Plus there is a £54 million, $71 million, conditional obligation to buy him next year. The clause supposedly requires the ex-Villarreal star to start 40 games during the 2025-26 campaign, something Bayern chief Uli Hoeneß described as impossible. The striker himself is not focused on that, but he will want to impress against parent club Chelsea this week. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Liverpool will add £75 million Man United transfer target to Arne squad if January move completed. Liverpool are reportedly interested in signing Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba in the January transfer window. Liverpool are seemingly putting plans in place for the January transfer window with rumors linking them with a move for Brighton star Carlos Baleba. It was a busy summer at Anfield with 8 new signings being added as part of an overhaul that cost more than £400 million. Head coach Arne Slot brought Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak, Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong, Georgi Mamardashvili, Giovanni Leone, Armin Pexi, and Freddie Woodman to Liverpool this summer. Now, fresh reports are already providing rumors about who the reigning Premier League champions could target next. Baleba's future was the subject of speculation earlier in the summer, with the midfielder heavily linked with a move to Manchester United. There have even been suggestions that Brighton could demand a fee in excess of £100 million for Baleba's signature should any club express a genuine interest, reports the Liverpool Echo. Indicala has now reported that Liverpool may pursue a deal for Baleba in January, with the same source previously cited by The Athletic's David Ornstein regarding Man United's interest earlier in the summer. It remains to be seen if the reported interest is true, and the Reds may have their own valuation for Baleba if they do decide to approach Brighton for a deal in the new year. The CIS Football Observatory have run the numbers and placed their own valuation on Baleba in the current market. Indeed, the website estimates that the Brighton star is worth between €75 million, £65 million, and €87 million, £75 million. Liverpool were not heavily linked with signing a midfielder in the summer and instead chose to prioritize strengthening their defense in the final hours of the transfer window. Crystal Palace star Mark Guéhi was a target, and a deal was agreed between both clubs before the move fell through at the 11th hour. "I think it would be ridiculous if I'm going to deny we were close to signing him," Reds boss Slot said of his side's attempts to sign Guéhi. "That is so out in the open that would be ridiculous. These things happen in football. It happened to our players maybe in the past as well, that they thought they were so close to signing somewhere else, and then in the last moment, things change. This can happen. For me, we would like to sign him, of course, because we were in for him. Like I have said many times, if we feel we can strengthen the team with a chance in the market, we never hesitated to do so, and that's what we tried to do." Slot added, "It's a pity, but not only for us, but also for the player, I think. But he's in a good place, playing at Palace where he won the Community Shield and the FA Cup with a very good manager as well." Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.